Hello everyone and welcome to the Dick Campbell Gymnasium for the opening night for York boys basketball. I'm Christian McQuade, alongside me Connor Choi. We have York's first game of the season. Connor, what are we looking at from both sides of the ball here tonight?
Yeah, well, Westinghouse comes all the way in from the city, and they're hoping to come into Elmhurst and get a victory against the York Dukes. As for the Dukes, you know, this is going to be an interesting game. They've played a couple of games already. They're sitting at 2-2, but hey, have all the football players back. The biggest plus to getting these football kids back after their state run, it's number 50, Hunter Stepanek, the 6'7" junior. Will be huge for them in the post. Look for him to make an immediate impact in his first game back.
Yeah, Connor, thank you for that breakdown. You said state team. This team was rolling. A.J. Levine hit a three-pointer to go up by 1 point with about 5 seconds left, and that was not enough for them to punch their ticket to the Final Four. So they're looking to have that revenge season and getting the football guys back from state, like you said, is going to be huge. As you said, Stepanek, Sika is back. John Vlahos will be back, but everyone is hyped up tonight. Nice student section showing, and you know, it's opening night, so some good energy in the building. And York looking to recover after last season.
It'll be interesting to see, Christian, really where most of the scoring comes from. You graduated your starting five. They're all in college now. And, you know, how are you going to replace guys like A.J. Levine and Kyle Waltz, who were responsible for about 95% of the points scored? It'll just be interesting to see who's going to take that next step up, and I'd keep your eye on Connor Fitzgerald. He was really the only junior last year who got any significant playing time on varsity, as well as Hunter Stepanek, who I just talked about.
I'd like to add James DeSanto on that mix. He's been fantastic so far this season as York wins the tip, and we're off here in the Dick Campbell Gymnasium. Jakob over to Sika. Over the middle, Jakob posting, floating, and connecting, and that's York basketball's first basket in this gym of the 2024-25 season.
Nice find by Jakob, by Sika, really nice pass down low to Jakob, who does the job in the paint, finishes it, and picks up the bucket.
Eddie Sika playing some aggressive defense, Connor. That's what he's known for here early, and York sticking with their 1-2-2 trap, the traditional defense they run. They've been running this defense for years. That's going to be a travel on number 2, Jamari Jackson. Ill-advised turnover here to start.
Well, it's just great defense by the Dukes early on. You just mentioned that 1-2-2 trap defense, Christian, and it's really immediately just kind of putting pressure on this Westinghouse offense to make something happen. They're able to force a travel, and now they get the ball back.
Over to Stepanek. DeSanto down low. Finds Ethan Jakob. Jakob spinning. Sika pump fakes the three. Driving, kicking. DeSanto now has it. They're just going to slow it down here. No shot clock in high school basketball unless it's a tournament for the most part, so they can take as much time as they want. Five-out offenses. DeSanto looking for Stepanek down low. He's got it. Kicks it out to DeSanto. Pump fakes. Driving. Kicking. Sika down the middle. Laying. No good. And that's off the mark. Rebounded by number 10, Joseph Johnson.
Great defensive stand from Westinghouse, coming back strong after the turnover.
Fitzgerald really playing aggressive defense here at the top of the trap. Over to three-point shot, and that's going to be off the mark. Rebounded by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald running the show down the floor. Finds DeSanto. Corner three. Bang! James DeSanto makes this a 5-0 lead.
Limited playing time last year. He showed his great three-point shooter, and you see it right there.
Joseph lays it up and in. That's a tough basket.
Great athletic play right there. This team in warm-ups, you could see the athleticism showing, and you see it on that last basket as Westinghouse scores their first points of the game.
Sika over to Jakob. Jakob's getting called for a 5-second violation. He had to get rid of the ball and was not able to do so. Connor, check out York's size of their roster going all the way down to the wall compared to Westinghouse.
Yeah, and I thought they had a big roster last year, but it grew even more this year. Coach Dunn really likes to have a lot of depth on this team.
Here they're going to get a foul on, I believe, Eddie Sika. It's a very aggressive corner for the York State team. Very aggressive defender. Someone you definitely want to have on your roster if you're Coach Dunn. Stolen by the Dukes. Jakob kicks it. Sika over to Fitzgerald. Corner three is up and in. Connor Fitzgerald. Now York is now 2 of 2 from beyond the arc tonight. I believe they haven't missed a shot, missed a layup, but that's it. They've been hot here early. Blocked by Jakob. DeSanto now running the floor. Over to Sika. Sika's going to get fouled by number 2. That's going to be Jamari Jackson.
Great defense by York, not allowing them to score. And then, like you mentioned, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. The three-point shooting is going to be critical for the Dukes so far in this season, and they've started out strong here. Fitzgerald and DeSanto, probably your 2 best three-point shooters, knocking down their first three-point attempts of the night.
And I believe they're going to give the coach a warning here. Eddie Sika and Jackson chipping away a little bit. Sika driving. Finds DeSanto, who's going to get down low to Jakob, who's going to get fouled at the rim. And this is just going to be a tip ball over to Jackson. Coast to coast. Lays it up and blocked by Stepanek. But they're going to get a foul on Sika first.
Not sure about that one. He's trying to plead his case that he planted his feet. Crowd doesn't like it either. Got sent to the line for 2 shots.
Sika will check out. Well, not yet, but he's walking off, and Sawyer Oskadam, the sophomore, will come in and pull him out of the game.
And there you go, Oskadam comes in. Second year in a row, Coach Dunn has picked up a sophomore. A little bit of a different player. Last year we saw Hunter Stepnick, the big man down low. Oskadam, the 5'11" guard. Gonna run point now for this Dukes offense.
Oskadam gets it across the timeline and over to DeSanto. Down low to Stepanek. Back to DeSanto. He's driving. Goes up with it. He's going to get stuffed, but they're going to call a jump ball, and that's going to belong to Westinghouse.
Great defense by Westinghouse. You know, Stepanek and DeSanto doing a good job moving the ball around. But they came in, DeSanto drives, and just a couple of Westinghouse players down low ready for him. Able to force the jump ball.
Jackson kicking, stolen by Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald over to DeSanto. That's going to be an easy layup for James DeSanto. Was supposed to be easy, but it was almost glassed.
Wow, he got up there, but great job forcing a turnover, and they turned it in the offense. Defense into offense, and that's kind of what Coach Dunn is preaching with his team here.
As Jamari Jackson commits an offensive foul, and Costa Campus will pull Hunter Stepanek. So there's a football for football player trade there. 2 new guys on this roster as of this week. And the Warriors are going to spend their first 32nd of the game. York up 10-3. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the short break where York has an early lead here. But an early ball game. Still 3 minutes left in this first quarter as Campus kicks over to Fitzgerald. His three-pointer is up, off the mark. Rebounded by Jakob. Around the horn, over to Askadam. Wide open three. It's up and no good. Just off the mark there, and this will go back to the Warriors.
Missed shot, but again, you see that great ball movement by the Dukes, finding the open man and getting an offensive rebound.
There's a pull-up J and knocked down right away by number one of the Warriors. That's going to be Nasir Fields. Cuts the lead back down to 4.
Great shot by Fields in transition. Knocks down the triple. Now just a 4-point game here.
Jakob floats it up and in. Ethan Jakob, the junior, who's had a great start to the season, showing why he is so important to this team.
Great touch with these floaters and baby hooks. It's up to 4 points now. Doing a great job so far early.
Noah Moscow will pull Connor Fitzgerald. New face here. He was on varsity last year, but now getting his first legitimate minutes, I'd say. So a lot of holes to fill, and right now York is looking very promising as of early. They seem to have a lot of depth, so that shows you that this team can hang around.
Every year, Coach Dunn loves to fill his roster. A lot of depth, and I think it really does a service to these guys as they learn the varsity offense in a kind of a not so stressful environment, and then they're more seasoned and they're ready for the next year. So the transition isn't as hard.
There's a corner three off the mark and rebounded by Askadam. Running the floor, over to DeSanto. Over to Jakob now. Around the horn, Moscow has it in the corner. Back to the top of the key. Screening him back to Jakob. Campus, pump fakes, lays it up and in. That was arguably an and-1. No call, but a fantastic move from the junior Costa Campus.
Yeah, the big man down low, and he's an athletic guy. He can really move around really well for a post guy and an offensive lineman. West Suburban Conference honorable mention at his right guard position, and now this is a really big lineup. Jakob comes out, Stepanik back in, so you have Campus and Stepanik both in the game. Really look for York to dominate in the glass.
They're going to now get Askadam for a reach-in.
Fourth foul, 7th total this game. 4 and 3 is the split. So these teams have got to be careful here. But just a minute and a half left to go in the first quarter before the foul counts reset.
Handoff drill here as Fears, kicks it down low, but it's stolen. Moscow running the floor now. It's DeSanto, that's a corner three for him, and he's gonna knock it down. James DeSanto is now at 8 points, 2 for 2 from beyond the arc tonight.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Christian. That was exactly what I was about to say. He's been great from beyond the arc to start, and look for him to keep up the great shooting performance.
Moscow cutting it up the middle, back over to James DeSanto, wide open. Once again, James DeSanto connecting, and now a 14-point lead for the Dukes.
He's in his bag right now, Christian. Nothing stopping this kid. Now York's up to a 14-point lead.
Deep three-pointer. Up and out. 20 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. DeSanto penetrating. Out to Moscow. 15 seconds now remain. They find the guard and Askadam. Back to Moscow. Three-pointer is up and out. Another one half down. Jackson running the floor. 5 seconds, 3 seconds, coast to coast. Up and under, jelly layup to finish the quarter. That was an athletic move by Jamari Jackson.
Yeah, he does a nice job picking up the bucket, pushes the floor, high pace, high intensity, great body control. Up and under, picks up the bucket, but York steamrolling ahead here late in the first quarter. You're aided by those 2 late back-to-back threes from James DeSanto. He's up to 11. He's the leading scorer tonight, and he's been great so far. Some questions to be answered for Westinghouse. It's 20-18. Or I'm sorry, 20-8 after the first quarter.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the short break. York Dukes up 20-8 against the Westinghouse Warriors. The prep school. Got ourselves the second quarter here as Fitzgerald has it. Ball movement's been immaculate here early. Everyone seems to be very unselfish as Fitzgerald launches a deep three off the rim and no good as Sika diving on the floor, keeps it alive. Now Stepanek has it. They're just going to reset the offense.
Another offensive rebound here for York. They're doing a great job winning the battle, getting those offensive boards. That's crucial in why they're up 12.
Jackson's trapped here by Fitzgerald in the corner. He's going to throw it off Fitzgerald. That's a heads-up play from the guard. Stolen. Fitzgerald dives on the floor, saves it. The Warriors somehow get it back. Jackson under the rim. And that one's just going to be tossed out of bounds by Jackson.
They try and make the fancy pass there to Jamar Jackson, but it was just a little bit out of his reach. And another turnover for Westinghouse Prep. Dukes will get another opportunity to expand this double-digit lead here in the early goings of the second quarter.
So Sika to bring it down the floor. Over to Jakob. Down low to Campus. Great find, but he's blocked. Number 11, Davion Elkins.
Davion Elkins getting up there, blocking the big man. Campus really not an easy player to block, standing at 6'6".
Jakob, that's his second time losing the ball in this possession. They're going to get him for an over and back.
Oh, I don't know. That was a close one there. But call is made. A turnover for the Dukes. Just hit off of Jakob's hands.
Ball's in, and Jackson driving, stolen. Here's a breakaway for Sika. Down low to Fitzgerald. Great find, but he's blocked by Jackson. Here comes Johnson now. Coast to coast. Lays it up and in. Plus the foul. No, it's a charge.
Great job by Stepanek. What a sequence of events. You know, Sika makes the extra pass. Great job and a great defense by Westinghouse picking up the block. And how about Stepanek setting his feet early, taking the charge, fights the contact, able to draw the foul, and now the Dukes will get the ball back.
Absolutely. It's the last guy on any basketball team you would pick to take a charge, a big man on a guard. If you can do that, you've got to be a pretty athletic big man. Shout out Adam Hardick, king of charges at York, as Stepanek lays it up and in, and now a 14-point lead.
Nice job there. You got to watch the feet, though. Got a little bit case of happy feet there at the end, but he's able to fight through the contact, pick up the bucket. Strong one down low.
Driving baseline down low, and it's going to be stolen, but stays with the Warriors somehow. Jackson has it up top again. Here's it over to Johnson. That's going to hit the rim and no good. Askedam grabs the board. Now running the floor. Coast to coast kicks to Sika. Down low to Stepanek. Lays it up, no good. Second chance effort blocked, but no. Foul first. And Stepanek will go to the charity stripe for 2.
That one almost looked like maybe kind of a makeup call from the first one, because I think there was more contact on his first attempt than the second one. The second one looked more like all ball, but they came for the foul, send Stepanek to the line. And how about Eddie Sika once again? And this Dukes team doing a great job finding their big men down low, able to thread the needle with these passes, fit it through really tight windows, and they're able to hit their men constantly.
Absolutely, Connor. Stepanek is going to miss this free throw, but York will keep their 15-point lead, and it's been a nice buzz in this gym tonight. Lots of energy going on. The basketball's been great, too. A very entertaining game.
Another turnover. That's really what's hurting Westinghouse. They have to protect the basketball on these offensive possessions, especially when you're down double digits.
Fitzgerald over to Oskadam. Sika, the Jakob, great ball movement, open 3. Fitzgerald off the mark. Sika was there to save it, but it went off of his leg. It will belong to the Warriors as James DeSika will check in and pull Eddie Sika.
I mean, they're doing a great job drawing the guy in, finding the open look, and Westinghouse has to be able to adjust. You've got to know who the shooters are on this team. You cannot fall for the little bait where they try and get a guy in, because they're going to kick it out for 3 every time.
Down low to Johnson, who's going to lay it up. It gets blocked, but he draws the foul, so he'll go to the charity stripe for 2 now. And this is an opportunity for the Warriors to get some points on the board without taking any time off the clock, Connor, and they got to find a way to get back in this game. Getting to the free throw line is going to be vital for them.
Step 1, get the stop. They did that. Step 2, got to score. We'll see. It's been tough to come by for them in the early goings, mostly because these offensive possessions have not been able to develop. A lot of turnovers early. And like you mentioned, that's a big reason why these free throws so big, and they're cutting into this big deficit that they face right now.
He goes 2 for 2 from the line, and York now struggling to break this press. They eventually get it over. 4 minutes and 42 seconds remain here in the second quarter. Here's DeSico, down low to Stepanek. Jakob's now got it. Over to Fitzgerald, corner 3 is up. And it's an air ball, but Stepanek is there for the end. 1 is just a layup, but they get a foul after the shot, so he will go to the charity stripe for an extra free throw.
We'll call that an assist for Fitzgerald. Nice job by Stepanek, able to box out, get another offensive rebound for the Dukes. This time it really comes back to bite Westinghouse as it results in points, and they've got to do a better job boxing out. I mean, they're just getting pummeled right now in terms of the rebounds category.
And I think this is where bringing back all the football guys really comes in, because you get Campus, Stepanek, and those are the 2 tallest guys on the team. So they must have been really struggling with the big man play before that. But you're really feeling their impact tonight. And quite honestly, Connor, they haven't even gelled yet. They've been at practice for a week as Johnson hits that 3. Once they start to gel even more than this is going to be a dangerous York team if they play like this.
Biggest thing that they've got that I don't think that the last year's team have, more height, depth at the post position. That'll be key.
Moscow being trapped up top. Finds DeSico. His 3-pointer is off the mark. Jakob there for the rebound. Draws the contact. No whistle. And the Warriors will come down with the board. Now pushing it down the floor. Jackson, coast to coast, laying it up. And in. Jackson, nice move. He's a very shifty guard. He's up to 5 points.
Easily one of the best layup packages in the gym right now, and he's shown it twice with just very athletic plays, showcasing that great body control once again.
Jakob is going to lose that one out of bounds. And they're going to pull Oskadam, and Stepanek can check in Campus and Sika. Screen down low. Out to Jakob. They're going to call a travel on him. Jakob's been having a rough few possessions.
Yeah, a couple nice buckets, but also a couple of turnovers. He had the one that hit off his hands for the over and back, and that travel right there.
Here's the layup. It's up and in for Ellikins, and it's now 26-16. So the Warriors got it down to a 10-point deficit. York was rolling early, but starting to show signs of fatigue. Got second half of the second quarter coming up here. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome back from the short break. York up 26-16. 3 minutes and 20 seconds remain here in the second quarter, and it was a hot start for York, but the Warriors have started to gain some momentum here, and York could really use a basket to get that momentum back on their side. Here's the play. They run out of the timeout. A wide open look. Won't go for Moskal. It's going to belong to the Warriors. Fields gets it down the floor. Here's a pull-up Jay. It's off the mark. Joseph Johnson there for the rebound. Lays it up off balance. No good. Campus with the rebound. Now DeSanto has it. Gets it across the timeline over to Sika, who's getting trapped, and he's going to throw it off a Warriors leg as Fitzgerald and Stepanek will pull Jakob and Moskal. DeSanto with Fitzgerald. Campus posting up. Fitzgerald with the float game, no good. And Elkins rips it away, and there's going to be another foul on Fitzgerald. That's going to be his second, so he's got to start, or they're going to go in on Campus, so.
Spreading the wealth.
Works out, in a way. Here's the trap. They get it across. He splits the defense. The beautiful pass. Now the corner three off the mark. Jackson gets up there and grabs the rebound. Draws the foul.
Not sure about the foul call on DeSanto there.
Down low to Joseph. Johnson gets it over to Fields, and he gets fouled, so he'll go to the line for two. York's starting to struggle a little bit, Connor, and Warriors have taken advantage of that momentum.
Yeah, just only an 8-6 run in favor of Westinghouse, though, so York's still doing a good job defensively, and even all right offensively. It's just kind of been they've slowed down just a little bit.
First one up and through. Second one's off the mark, and Stepanek with the board. Westinghouse still bringing out that press, though. Campus open over the middle. They get it to him. Now here's going to be a jump ball. Great job by 14. Xavier Johnson to get in there and force the jump ball. Stepanek was wide open under the basket for an easy flush, but better defense.
Yeah, well, exactly, and that's why it was so important that Johnson's there with the defense, gets a hand on the ball, because otherwise Campus spins around, throws it to Stepanek, who will probably just go and slam it down.
And Jackson's going to step out of bounds. So Eddie Sika now to break the press.
And they're giving Stepanek a lot of space. Wow.
Campus now has it over to Sika. Back to Campus. Draws the contact. Gets fouled. Late whistle, so they're going to get him to the line for 2 here. But great job by Campus initiating contact.
I mean, it almost looks like they're using Stepanek more as kind of a decoy down low, though. You know, they're flushing him out. Just see how many people can he attract away from the basket. And the idea is Sika gets it to Campus, who's also great in the paint.
Campus is going to bury the first one as Jakob and Askadam will pull DeSanto and Sika. So sticking with that bigger lineup.
I mean, I'm a big fan of this little bit of a larger lineup. You know, it's especially better for this for paint defense because you have Jakob, Campus, and Stepanek all out on the floor at the same time. The perimeter shooting suffers a little bit because you're taking out DeSanto, but when you have a 10-point lead, it's not really going to matter. Especially with just 1:27 left here in the first half.
Askadam chasing down his defender. They now find it down low. It's stolen by Fitzgerald, who's going to slow it down. So 2 lefty point guards in. Interesting. They find Stepanek open, down low, in trouble. Gets blocked, and Jamari Jackson now has it. He's going to get fouled, and that will put them in the bonus. So Jackson will head to the line for 2.
Second on Fitzgerald. You know, just a minute left. You know, I don't really think so far this half. While the offense has slowed down, only 7 second quarter points so far. You know, they've been doing a great job defensively that their offense is able to afford this plateau because their defense has just been causing so many issues. I mean, Westinghouse has got to be double-digit in turnovers by now.
Campus in trouble here at the trap. Starts to take it himself, dishes it down low, but that's going to go off the Warriors.
I mean, I think the only thing that's kind of saving Westinghouse just a little bit from all of these turnovers are the blocks that they've had. The double-digit turnovers in the first half is pretty bad if any way you look at it.
Coast to Campus, an athletic move down low. He's been very reliable. There's 2 baskets in the paint, both athletic moves as Westinghouse is going to spend a timeout here with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. 29-17, York Dukes lead. Don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Welcome back from the short break. Askadam checking in during the timeout. He pulled DeSanto out of the game. So Coach Dunn sticking with that big man lineup. And Hunter Stepanek's dad, Jim Stepanek, the trainer, helping out some players on the sideline here.
I don't know, giving Campus some thumb tape. Really sure. I mean, but he's at almost every athletic event. This entire athletic training staff has been great. But he's with this kid all the time.
He is.
Three-sport athlete. Yeah. Football season, basketball season, and then volleyball season.
Great job by the York defense forcing a turnover as DeSanto will come back in here. Going to probably pull Oskadam out for offense, and he will. Like that matchup. You know, put Oskadam in there for defense and putting DeSanto back in for offense because he's got 11 in the first half. So smart coaching there.
Try to hold till half if you can. You want an easy layup down low or put the ball in DeSanto's hands. He's been shooting very well so far.
Absolutely. Jakob launches a three off the mark, and Jamari Jackson's got the board. 9 seconds. Just slowing it down. Now, I'm not sure if he recognizes how much time's on the clock. He's got to go. He does. Floats it up. No good. Follow-up is also off the mark, and that's going to wrap up the first half. So 29-17, the York Dukes lead here at half. We got some more basketball coming back. Don't go anywhere. Second half coming your way after this 10-minute break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the second half of this basketball game. And Connor, what does Westinghouse have to do to get back into this ball game?
Yeah, get back in. A 12-point game, so double-digit lead for the Dukes, who've done a great job. You know, offense was hot in the first quarter. Cooled off a bit in the second quarter, which shows that the Westinghouse defense getting a little better. A couple of clutch blocks, but they need to limit this turnovers on offense. But it all starts with getting a stop here on defense.
Very well said, and we're underway here in the second half. Jakob, James DeSanto, 3 balls off the mark. Tip back out. Fitzgerald. Sika misses the bunny. He gets the board, sticks with it. Second chance effort's blocked. And Fields on the floor now. Jakob, that's a jump ball, and it will go to the Warriors.
Still, these passes for the Dukes, you know, they're doing a great job distributing the ball, but you know, I noticed towards the end of the second half, for most of the second quarter, really, they've really struggled finishing at the rim when they're heavily contested down low, so that's something they need to clean up.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking about how York was sharing the love with the ball, but in the second half, it's kind of been a different story, like you mentioned. A lot more miscommunications, a lot more turnovers. And you got to give the Warriors credit for that as well. They've really stepped up their intensity since the opening point. And after all that, only down 12. So you really haven't played your best and you're only down 12. I'd take that if I'm the Warriors. Take that opportunity to come back here.
Got the golden opportunity, but like you said, will they be able to take care of it? That's for the Dukes. You kind of just want to step things up and put this away.
There's a pull-up 3. Off the mark, and Joseph grabs the board. His three-pointer, bang! Joseph cuts the lead down to single digits, and on top of that, right now the Warriors are out with their best player, arguably, in Jamari Johnson. He ended the second half with that ankle injury, and he does not seem like he's going to come back as of right now, Connor.
That was a tough one. Just landed awkwardly, needed help getting up.
Great move by Stepanek with his left hand.
Yeah, he's been good down low. A couple of missed layups, but he starts this second half off strong with a bucket, now up to 4 points. I'm sorry, 8 points.
Deep three-pointer off the mark. Fitzgerald at the board now. Now running the floor. Over to DeSanto, who finds it back down low to Stepanek, posting up around the horn. Fitzgerald thought about the 3, now back to Jakob. DeSanto now back to Jakob again. Finds Stepanek, lays it up and in. Hunter Stepanek now, his 10th point of the game, and his presence very much felt.
Yeah, good job. You know, heavily contested down low, but he uses that size to his advantage. There's not many guys out here that can match up to that size.
There's a great finish by number 11, Elkins.
Well, Davion Elkins just found wide open, and they just swing it to him, and he's got an easy path to the cup, and he's able to lay it in very nicely. Now just an 11-point deficit here for Westinghouse.
Fitzgerald coming off a screen. He's got it over to DeSanto. Driving, laying, and a great move from James DeSanto, coast to coast and in.
For the first time we've seen him kind of drive into the basket. You know, we've seen more jump shots and floaters there, but that was a really nice move.
Joseph rises off the mark. He got in the air there on that three-pointer. Double clutch looking shot is Fitzgerald over to DeSanto. He's going to penetrate and reset the offense here. Down to Stepanek, keeps it high and almost gets the N1. We go to the line for 2.
It's so hard to defend a guy like Stepanek, especially when you're just not as big in terms of matching up with him. And a lot of times it just causes a lot of fouls. That's why it takes a lot of trips to the free throw line.
He's going to bury the first. Still no sign of Jamari Jackson on the bench. He's taping up his leg. They're going to try to probably get him back into the game, but definitely don't want to rush him with a young season. You need to keep him healthy. Stepanek will roll in the second, so 12 points on the night. He's tied with James DeSanto in leading scorer. Actually, DeSanto's got him by 1 point, so 13-12.
They're neck and neck.
Sika's going to tip that one out of bounds. We'll stay here. Trapped in the corner are the Warriors. And they're going to get him stepping out of bounds here, but timeout first, so we'll step aside for a short break. York up 15, 37-22. 4 minutes, 24 seconds remain. Don't go anywhere, York Sports Network. Come back from the short break, and York's only gone 3 guys into their bench. It seemed at the beginning, and they're switching out guys in and out. It seemed like they're going to play a huge different margin of guys, but they've kind of stuck to what they've been comfortable with, and you can't blame them with that 15-point cushion.
Yeah, this 8-man rotation done an excellent job so far, and I mean, no signs of slowing down. York defensively just looks dominant over Westinghouse.
Sika now. Great pass over to Fitzgerald. He's going to miss his 3.
Fitzgerald knocked down that first quarter 3, Christian, but since then he's just cooled off just a little bit, not as hot as he was before.
Yeah, Connor, we were thinking the absolute same thing. He's really had a tough going here in the second half, or just the whole game since that first quarter 3. I think he was 1 for 1 and hasn't hit one since. But you can definitely feel his presence out there besides the 3-point shot. He's a great leader, communicating pretty well out there with everybody, and he plays good defense too, so you can't go wrong with Fitzgerald on the court.
I think the biggest thing to look out for is he's getting open, so you know eventually these shots are going to fall. He's just kind of got to get into his rhythm, and right now he just isn't in it.
Campus gets blocked. Stefanik with the board. Now DeSanto. Fitzgerald over to Campus. Kicking out to Sika, and wide open 3 for DeSanto. Picture perfect ball movement. However, the 3 can't go down. Joseph and the Warriors now working their way down the floor. So number 13 in. He's also played in the JV game earlier. I'm sure he's Jamari Jackson's replacement as of right now. That's Cam Russell. Joseph driving coast to coast, lays it up, and that one's going to rim out. DeSanto now, coast to coast, kicking. Fitzgerald driving baseline, great pass to Sika. Finds DeSanto, open 3, that's off the mark. Work seems to have gone cold here, Connor.
Yeah, miss for Fitzgerald and 2 misses in a row for Sika, but still this defense holding strong.
Saskanam and Jakob will come into the game. Stefanik and Fitzgerald to check out. Jakob with the save, and he's going to throw it off Askanam's foot.
Great athletic play, just a little bit off in terms of where the pass left. Right for that left shin and out of bounds, so Westinghouse gets it back.
Joseph driving to the coast, lays it up and in, plus the foul. Nice move there from Joseph Johnson.
Really nice job by Johnson. Fights through contact, fouls early, but he's able to keep his composure. Gets up, puts the floater in, able to knock it down.
He's got 12 on the night, so Westinghouse will be looking at a much better situation. They had Jackson in. He had around 9 points tonight, so the scoring has been spread out that much, but they are missing him, and they're still in this game. They've been holding York to only threes, and they haven't been hitting them, so they might as well stick with it. As Askedam open in the corner, his three-pointer is off the mark. And that's going to go out of bounds, and we'll stay here with the Dukes. Down low over to Sika. Spins his way out of trouble. Down low to Campus. And he misses the layup. And here's the foul on York. It's going to be number 14 at the line, Xavier Johnson.
We're going to call Askedam for that foul. So that's third on Sawyer tonight. Now Westinghouse with the chance to make it just a 10-point deficit for them. They're slowly but surely climbing back into this game. First one from him was good. So now Sika comes out, Moscow back in. Still got their leading scorer out there for the Dukes.
It's the second one will go down to the lead back down to 10. And as I mentioned earlier, York has gone cold, Connor. They need a basket for momentum. As Moscow is back in there now. In trouble is Jakob. He's going to turn it over another time tonight. Westinghouse gets another basket. Lead is now only down to 8.
Nice job by Xavier Johnson there. Able to get open, stops, able to throw this Dukes defenders off their feet. Like you said, Dukes desperately need a basket. Look for someone to get going. Just got to get it to whoever's open.
Askedam's going to pick up another foul. And that is going to be his fourth, so he's going to have to start watching it, Connor.
Now he's really got to play careful.
Still no sign of pulling him out, though. They trust him as Jamari Jackson's back in the game. So Westinghouse has to seem everything going for them now, Connor. They're starting to roll with points, and arguably their best scorer back in the game. Oh, throws it off Jakob's head. And now DeSanto spinning, lays it up and gets fouled, so he'll go to the charity stripe for 2. As Dunn's kind of had a hard time with the refs here in the second half, calling for fouls. And they seem to be calling them. The foul ratio is 4-1. They call them for Westinghouse, but on the other side, York hasn't really gotten many calls tonight.
Well, it's a great job by DeSanto. I'm pretty sure he's aware that the chances of him going up to score were pretty low. But with 2 guys there, the chances to get a foul call pretty high. He gets the call, and now he's at the line for 2 with a chance to make this a double-digit lead for the Dukes again.
DeSanto knocks the first one down, and after a 2-minute drought, York finally gets another basket.
Well, especially with this kind of scoring drought going on for the Dukes. Basically, for a majority of the third quarter, or at least offensive inconsistencies and struggles, they've really needed some points, and DeSanto able to provide them 2 cushion points with those free throws.
Russell. The Johnson pull-up J. Bang! 39-31, 18 seconds remain. Over to Askedam. 15 seconds remain. DeSanto over to Moscow. Corner three, wide open for Moskal. Off the mark. Jamari Jackson launches at the buzzer, but that's going to be way off the mark. And that'll conclude the third quarter, 39-31. Westinghouse find themselves in a single-digit ball game, and York struggling here, so don't go anywhere. You're watching York Sports Network. Welcome back to the last quarter of the season opener for the York Dukes. 39-31 is your score. And what had seemed to be a blowout has now turned into a single-digit game. And Connor, what has Westinghouse done to get back into this ball game?
You know, they've limited the turnovers, especially in the third quarter. Look, was pretty bad in the first half. Double-digit turnovers for them. They were able to calm it down and force turnovers of their own. And they've just kind of quietly made their way back into this one. And what was at one point a 15-point lead for the York Dukes has now just diminished to an 8-point lead. So still not all the way back, but things are starting to get interesting, especially with York's offense going cold for a bit.
Very well said, and with that, let's get into this fourth quarter as Fitzgerald finds Jakob to DeSanto, and it seems like DeSanto, after having that huge first half, has really kind of, he's the leading scorer, and he's kind of just not been that presence felt on offense. And Stepanek has certainly been there all night, picks up his 14th point of the game, but not only has the whole offense gone cold, but DeSanto, the leading scorer, has too.
Sika, great job by Eddie Sika, able to immediately force a turnover, gets it into DeSanto. Gets it swatted away, but the Dukes still retaining possession. And like you just mentioned, Stepanek, he's kind of picked up the slack when DeSanto started going a little bit cold.
Yapka misses the bunny, and it's going to go out of bounds off York. And you mentioned Sika. That's the reason he's out there. He doesn't score too many points. He's known to be the most prone defender out there. As there's another almost stolen ball, but that's what he was in football too, Connor. I mean, we announced all those football games. You had that interception in that Naperville Central game to punch their ticket to state, and he's just known to be an aggressive defender in both offense, or on defense in football and basketball.
And a lot of his turnovers have gotten them to points for the Dukes.
Jakob is blocked once again.
Elkins just flying, man, and really athletic play. Swatting Jakob's floater. And they'll check Campus back in now.
Siko finds Fitzgerald. Sika's got it at the top of the key. They find Campus. Great pass down low to Stepanek. He's going to man the house down low and lays it up and in. Probably could argue that was a foul too.
Yeah, Stepanek now up to 16 points, the leading scorer in today's game, and he's come alive really in this third and fourth quarter so far.
They get it down low to Jackson. Tried to go baseline, but he was clipped right away. So down 12. the Warriors, and they need to make a push here. 6 minutes remaining. It's time to get going.
Stepanik's first foul of the game, which is pretty surprising for how much he's been sent to the line and how active he's been down low. Duke's not doing a great job early here in the fourth quarter, really starting to pull away. You know, back up to a 12-point lead. I think no shot clock will help them. They can slow things down, really just start to kill the clock as they do have a double-digit lead again.
DeSanto over to Fitzgerald. Stepanik over to DeSanto. He's driving coast to coast, dumps it off, and out of bounds on campus. Great fake by the Warriors. It looked like they were going to hold on to it instead of fake cut. A great move by Xavier Johnson. He's going to draw the contact and go to the line.
Yeah, they're going to get campus for that foul, it looks like. Yep, and there it is. So that's his second of the day. Another foul, stopping the clock and allowing Westinghouse to kind of get closer back into this one.
The second one is up and through, so back down to a 10-point deficit. Still looking for that final push are the Warriors.
The Dukes can hold a lead in that 8 to 12-point range for just 2 more minutes. It'll be really, or 3 more minutes. It'll be really hard for Westinghouse to come back.
DeSanto's gonna get called for a travel. We'll turn over there. So a 30-second timeout. York up 10 with 5 minutes and 5 seconds remaining in this ball game. And the story of tonight has kind of just been York getting off that strong start, feeding off the energy, but it's kind of just gone. It's just been disappearing since then. But like Connor mentioned, if they're able to hold this 10-point lead here to 8 or whatever it is, they're going to be in good shape to win this ball game. But can never count anyone out in basketball.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they're due. There's York, you know, despite this offense that has, you know, like we said, it gets slowed down a little bit. There's no denying that after the first quarter, we thought that this would have been a lopsided victory with an offensive explosion. But credit where credit's due. Westinghouse has done a really good job kind of coming back from that. And the Dukes have done a great job despite the offensive but despite the offense slowing down, they've done an excellent job still with this defense, forcing turnovers and taking advantage of free throws. Making your free throws is so important when the offense is not at its peak, and that's what the Dukes have done, and that's a big reason why they're still up.
Deep pull-up 3 from Fields, and that's going to knock the lead down to 7. The desperation heave goes down.
Bit early for a desperation heave, but it works out in their favor. 7-point game. Now the Dukes, I would still slow it down. Wait for a good shot.
Fitzgerald with the own dagger of his own. It's not going to go in. They're going to get a block on Jamari Jackson. Head coach sprints to all the way down the other side of the bench. And a lot of energy on that sideline, man.
It's out a little scream of his own.
He's on another planet over there.
Awesome to see.
Fitzgerald driving. DeSanto, 3-ball, bang! James DeSanto hits a 3 when his team needs it the most. Is that the final touch to keep this lead up 10? Still plenty of time, but certainly a nice cushion, Connor.
That's a great shot, and like you said, when this team needs him, when your team needs you most, you want to keep this double-digit lead to try and push this game away, really before the clock hits 0.
Boom! Fields connects from way downtown, cuts the lead back down to 7, so back and forth. This guy's not going anywhere.
Well, right as I was saying, DeSanto hits the big 3 to kind of helped put this game closer and closer away. There goes Fields with a big three-pointer of his own. So
then a turnover to foul
yeah.
that.
Westinghouse just won't go away.
He wants another, Connor. He does. He launches way outside, and Fields! 3 in a row. 9 unanswered. 4-point game. 3 minutes, 20 seconds remain. Absolute takeover.
You got a 6-3 run right now. 4-point game like you just said.
Costa Campus. Wide open layup goes down.
That's big time right there. Back up to a 6-point lead for the Dukes. Exactly what they need.
Fields, another. In and out. Jackson gets his board. Lays it up and in. The jelly move. Walks over Sika like he's Iverson after. What an entertaining finish, Connor.
Good defense by Sika. Just an even more athletic play by Jackson, able to go under.
Fitzgerald, wide open 3. Off the mark. Exactly the shot they wanted. He couldn't finish it. Now Jackson, you know who he's looking for. Number 1 in black, Fields. See if they get it to him.
You want Fields at the 3 or Jackson driving to the rim. Those are your best options to make this a one-possession game.
Jackson, three-pointer with his bad ankle. Off the mark. Sika down the floor. Over to DeSanto, and there's no time to there's no reason to rush here, Connor.
Absolutely not. Remember, a lead is a lead. No shot clock. You can kill as much time as you want. We're less than 2 minutes here in the game. You want to score, but you don't want to force anything.
So Sika's got it.
Really passive from Westinghouse. They gotta
get in there.
Yeah, what are they doing?
They eventually foul. That's, as you said, Connor, that's the right move there. You got to play for a steal, and if you can't get that, you got to start fouling. Because they're only at 2 fouls, or 1 foul, excuse me. So they're going to need 4 more to get them at the line, and the clock's just going to continue to run. Not to mention, Connor, the way York's playing, they're also missing their star guard, Brendan Carroll, who had a few big games at the beginning of the season. An 18-point game and a 20-point game, so still a lot of talent left on this bench.
Yeah, that's going to hurt you. Anytime you're out with illness or injury, it's never good for the team. And you're missing a guy like Brendan Carroll in tonight's game. But the Dukes just trying to narrowly escape with a win here.
DeSanto thought about the 3. And he's going to get fouled as Fields is going to check back in.
So it's just the second personal on Jamari Jackson. Only 1 for Fields. Jackson and Fields. Neither of them are the leading scorers despite their big impacts these last couple Westinghouse possessions. Joseph Johnson, the leading scorer with 14. So you've got 3 guys kind of responsible for the most of the points.
Jakob down low to Stepanek. Stepanek goes up strong, and he's going to be fouled. Late whistle. It looks like they were going to get away with one, but they ended up getting the call. And Hunter Stepanek, the 69 seconds left on the clock, will go to the line for 2.
Big free throws coming up. Opportunity to make this a 6-point game. And with 1 minute and 9 seconds to go.
And he will knock down the first. Campus will check in and pull Jakob out of the game.
Great job getting the first. Really hoping he gets the second here.
And he does. Hunter Stepanek stepping up tonight, Connor. 18 points on the night.
Steps up in crunch time, knocks both of them down. That's huge.
Jackson over to Fields. You know he's going to launch, and he nearly connected. Sika has it. Over to Fitzgerald. They're going to probably foul here. Spin moves across the timeline. Finds DeSanto over to Campus. Back to Stepanek. DeSanto thought about the 3. I thought he would launch.
No, smart decision.
Smart.
Yeah, very smart
That's
to pass that.
That's a senior leader play right there.
That's an extra couple seconds off the clock. It almost looked like York for a second would have had a wide open layup, but good job by Westinghouse. You know, they're chasing the ball around, but then they get back down low in the paint when Campus had it, forced him to make that extra dish out to Stepanek, and that gave Westinghouse an extra couple seconds to get set defensively for approaching Stepanek, and then ultimately it found its way to DeSanto, who swung it over, made a really smart decision to not shoot it, swung it over to Sika before he was fouled.
Absolutely. Sika did miss the first, so Yorkside are looking for an offensive rebound here or a make from Sika. And it's going to be off the mark, but it hits the top of the basket. So it's an automatic turnover, and we'll go back to the Warriors. 40 seconds remain. A three-pointer could make this a one-possession game, Connor. Who do you think they go to here?
You're going to go to Fields or Johnson.
And they get it to Fields. Johnson, back to Fields. Fields driving, kicking. Three ball, way off the mark. Jamari Jackson gets the board. His nasty layup package will not go in this time, and 20 seconds remain. They got a foul. Sika over to DeSanto, over to Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald playing for the foul. He will get it.
Yeah, really kind of let too much time go off. Not like it'd be really hard to hit a shot, but you know, because the clock doesn't stop when you make a basket here, assume he misses both. You've got a timeout. Okay, he misses the first one. You use a timeout. You basically have 2 timeouts left for Westinghouse. You have 2 timeouts left. You got to figure out a way to quickly score because the clock does keep rolling. Two for two trip. We talked about Connor Fitzgerald kind of going cold, but those 2 free throws right there probably just put the game away.
And of course, Joseph Johnson, they just refused to go away, Connor.
5-point game. Westinghouse did exactly what I said they were going to do. They called the timeout, stopping the clock with a little under 8 seconds left. You're going to need to quickly foul. Hope he misses both. I mean, it'll be really hard. York just has to make their free throws, and the game will be over. Doing a great job coming through late at the charity stripe, knocking down your free throws. Really helps them out there. But they're in line for a nice win on the home opener over Westinghouse. You know, they was close, got close at one point, but now really starting to pull away. But how about Westinghouse never really giving up? You know, they had their couple of really clutch moments, and they went on a couple of really nice runs. But this Duke's defense and never really kind of strayed away from what they were doing all game. And this offense came through when it matters, especially those clutch free throw trips by Hunter Stepanek and Connor Fitzgerald late. It's really what will propel them over in the end of this one.
See, all New York needs is to get an inbound here, Connor. And they will. They'll find DeSanto. He's going to dribble out of traffic and get fouled, so 5.2 seconds remain, and James DeSanto will go to the line for 2. Knocking down both of these would make this officially a 3-possession game. So although the chances are already very tight, it would make them even tighter if DeSanto was able to knock down both of these.
And the first one's good. So now a 6-point lead. If he knocks down this next one, I mean, if you're York, you just get back there, and then time should expire.
He does miss the second.
Shouldn't matter. Not even going to matter. This game's over.
And that will bring this first opening night game to a close. York moves on to 3-2, looking for that doubleheader game tomorrow. And you can join myself and Connor Choi alongside me tomorrow at Waubonsie Valley, where York will take on Naperville North. And this was a nice win tonight. 53-47, your final here from Elmhurst. Thank you for all who tuned in tonight. Shout out to the crew, Connor Choi, myself, Zach Silkaitis, Luca DeSanto, John Fanucci, Griffin Hanna, and Jack Borchers. 53-47, final from Elmhurst. You are watching York Sports Network.
Go Dukes.